Blue Lock's very first match of the Under-20 World Cup has finally wrapped up, and in today's video we're going to rate every single player's performance from Japan vs Nigeria. Some players cooked, some disappeared, and some, well, I don't even know why they were on the field, but before we start, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more blog content every single week. Alright, let's begin with the Nigerian squad, because let's be honest, only about 6 of them actually did anything in this match. The rest were basically NPCs standing around in the background, contributing absolutely nothing and having zero impact on the story. So the first Nigerian player we're rating today is Sadiq. This guy showed up once, literally one panel of relevance. He lost the ball, had no presence, no influence, nothing. One of the weakest players on the team by far. I genuinely can't rate him higher than a 5 out of 10. Next up is Agbim, the Nigerian goalkeeper, and trust me, there's a lot to say here. Overall, really bad performance. He conceded 4 goals, had poor positioning, and even when Onazi blocked his shot, he was just standing there watching. The only good moment he had was saving Hyori's shot, and that's about it. Nigeria desperately needed a better keeper for this match, because Agbim is a 5 out of 10 at best. Now let's talk about Bello. I actually love his design. He kinda looks like a Nigerian Bachira, so I expected him to be one of their standout players, but I was wrong. He wasn't terrible, he just didn't contribute much. A couple of good dribbles, some nice passes, but in the second half he was basically ghosting. His first half was much better than his second, so for me, he gets a 6.3 out of 10. Next up is the iron wall of Nigeria's defense, Obabona. This big-eyed menace actually played a really solid match. He's tall, strong, and used his height perfectly to win aerial duels and block multiple attacks with clean headers. He cleared dangerous situations, held his ground, and honestly, he wasn't the reason Nigeria fell apart. Obabona did his job as a defender consistently and confidently, so for me, he earns a 7 out of 10. Moving on, we have Kuso. I know, a lot of people clown this guy, some call him a fraud, others say he spent half the match glazing Isagi, and that's not entirely wrong, but you cannot say he had a bad performance. Nigeria's captain actually contributed a lot. When you look at his overall impact, he made multiple passes that led to Onazi's shots. He tried organizing their offense, and even when he was pressured by Blue Lock's midfield, he didn't completely crumble. Sure, he lost the ball a few times and his own shot got saved by Rin, but he was far from the worst player on the team. And unlike many of his teammates, at least he was trying to make something happen. As a midfielder, he fulfilled his role well enough. So despite his flaws, I'm giving Kuso a 7.5 out of 10. And finally, Nigeria's man of the match, Onazi. This guy was everywhere. He was their engine, their hope, basically the soul of Nigeria's entire offense. Without him, they wouldn't even be close to the Under-20 World Cup stage. But let's be real, even with all his strengths, there are some things we can't ignore. Overall, he had an amazing performance. He was easily Nigeria's best player and arguably one of the best on the entire pitch. He delivered key passes, blocked multiple shots defensively, and even pulled off that Loki-style goal line save, which was insane. He evolved mid-match, unlocked the Predator Eye, and pushed himself to his absolute limit, but he didn't score. And as a striker, that matters. He had 2 clear chances on screen, and he couldn't finish either. Blue Lock's defense is tough, but if he put one of those away, Nigeria's whole momentum might have changed. Still, his creativity, defensive contribution, dangerous shots, and in-match evolution make him a huge standout this match. That's why Onazi gets 8.1 out of 10. And now we move on to the Japanese side, the winners of the opening Under-20 World Cup match. First up, Hyori. I gotta be honest, this wasn't his best performance at all. He was barely involved, rarely showed up on screen, and outside of that one dangerous shot that Agbim somehow saved, he didn't contribute much. His presence in the build-up was minimal, and eventually he got sapped off. For a player of Hyori's potential, this match was pretty underwhelming, that's why he gets a 6.2 out of 10. Next, we have Raichi. He started on the bench, came in later, and immediately did what Raichi does best: pure aggression, non-stop pressing and bodying the midfield. He was annoying the hell out of Nazi and Kuso, shutting down the rhythm, and he didn't really make any big mistakes. For the short time he was on the pitch, he made an impact. He deserves a solid 6.7 out of 10. Then we've got the second substitute, Corona, and honestly he stepped up nicely. He didn't have much time, but he made every minute count. He had that crucial moment where he saved Block's clean sheet by clearing the ball near the goal, and he provided steady support in the back, calm, reliable, and exactly what Block needed in that moment. For this match, Corona gets a 6.8 out of 10. Now let's talk about Chigiri. He actually played pretty well, lots of running, sharp transitions, and helping build counterattacks. He had flashes of that classic Chigiri speed and impact. The only downside is that later in the match he got neutralized by Onazi, which limited his influence, but overall, solid performance, especially considering how chaotic this match became. Chigiri gets a 6.8 out of 10 as well. Next up is Karasu. Maybe he wasn't the standout player on the pitch, but he also didn't do anything wrong. He had a few clean passes that kick-started counterattacks, intercepted a dangerous ball meant for Onazi, and overall acted like a secondary leader in the midfield. But compared to his usual level, this match felt a bit low impact from him. Because of that quieter performance, he gets a 6.6 out of 10. Now we move into Block's defense, starting with Nico. Nico actually played a very solid match. He blocked Onazi's first shot with his head, stole the ball from Kuso, made a couple of clean passes, and did his job exactly the way a defender should. We can't expect huge highlights from him because Nigeria barely created chances. They had only a few shots the whole match. For his reliable performance, Nico gets a 6.8 out of 10. Next is Ryu, and honestly, it's a similar story. Block's defenders barely had work today, but Ryu still contributed. He tracked Onazi very well, forcing him to pass, and he supported Aiku in blocking his shooting lanes. But overall, I don't think he had a better match than Nico, so Ryu gets a 6.7 out of 10. Then we have Japan's captain, Aiku. He was easily the best defender on the Japanese side. Every time Onazi tried to shoot, Aiku was right there shutting it down. His positioning was perfect, he made multiple key blocks, and he was the backbone of Block's defensive line. And for that performance, he absolutely deserves a 7.5 out of 10. Next is Gagamaru. He saved 2 of Onazi's shots on target and literally protected Block's clean score. If he didn't stop that one powerful shot from Onazi, the entire match might have looked different. He didn't have many difficult saves to make, but the ones he did handle were crucial. For that, Gagamaru gets a 7.4 out of 10. Now we have Rayo. This match finally showed us that Rayo isn't just a support player, he can be a striker too. Using his ability to use other players' weapons, he scored the second goal of the match, and that alone shoots his rating way up. But that's not all. His team up with Bachira was genuinely impressive, and I really hope we get to see more of that duo in the next matches. He intercepted passes, dribbled past Nigerian defenders, and created constant pressure. For everything he brought this match, Rayo gets 8.3 out of 10. Now we move to the top 3 players on the field. And I know you're wondering who ranks the lowest among the MVPs. Unfortunately, it's Isagi. Yes, Isagi finished with 2 goal contributions, and on paper that sounds like a good performance, but when you actually break down his plays compared to Rin or Bachira, the gap becomes clear. Isagi had brilliant moments. The assist to Bachira was clean, his defensive read on Bello was sharp, and the last minute goal was peak, but outside of those highlights he disappeared for long stretches. There were huge portions of the match where he wasn't driving the game, wasn't dictating the tempo, and wasn't influencing the flow of attacks the way Rin and Bachira were doing. And honestly, the Nigerian team hyping him up every 2 minutes didn't help his case. Half the time it felt like he was spending more energy responding to their comments than actually dominating the pitch. He still delivered when it mattered, he still evolved, and he still proved he belongs on the under 20 stage. But compared to how consistently active Rin and Bachira were, Isagi simply wasn't as impactful across the whole match. That's why he lands at a still strong 8.9 out of 10, but falls behind the other 2 MVPs. Next is Rin. After rereading the whole match, it's clear Rin was doing a lot on both ends of the field, offensively and defensively. He was everywhere, even saving Kuso's shot. At one point he was just like Onazi. He dribbled past players, created key passes and scored an incredible goal in the second half using Isagi. Aside from one mistake, it was a near perfect match for Block Striker, so he earns a 9.2 out of 10. And finally, of course, we have our GOAT Bachira. Easily the best player on the pitch. He showed up in every moment that mattered, he scored the opening goal by absolutely breaking through Nigeria's defense, and he contributed to every single goal Block scored, finishing with 3 assists and 4 total goal contributions. His playmaking literally carried Block to their first World Cup victory. For a performance like that, Bachira gets a massive 9.6 out of 10. And that wraps up my player ratings for Japan vs Nigeria in Block's first Under-20 World Cup match. This game was packed with awakenings, insane plays and some surprising MVPs. Let me know your ratings in the comments. Who do you think deserved a higher score and who do you think underperformed? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Block breakdowns every single week. Thanks for watching and I see ya in the next one.